Okay. Hey, okay. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you. Thank you for coming on the show. I got to admit, I don't think we've had too many football players on. I think you're probably like the second one, maybe in 1,000 productions that we've done over the last 7 years. But I'm happy to have you here, and it's a very interesting story. I guess right off the bat, I got to ask: Are you still playing, or are you retired?
Neither. Neither of those things
Neither. Okay.
fits me. Of course, once again, I'm outside of the realm of black and white. After I came out in 2019, I was a free agent at the time. I was getting calls and tryouts prior to. After calling, the calls and changed in nature, but I never formally made the announcement to retire. I feel like retiring is a decision that athletes make when they no longer have the ability to drive the passion or the want to continue playing their sport, and that never happened to me. So I also don't go by retired. If anything, I go by former, just because circumstances have led me to this point. But I have never officially retired.
Never officially retired, but you're not currently playing.
I'm not on a team right now. No.
You're not on a team. Okay. Can I ask how old you are?
Sure, 31.
31. Okay. Well, you're not out of the loop just yet.
No, I mean Tom Brady played in his 40s,
Oh,
so
oh, yeah. Yeah. And what was the guy years ago, the San Francisco kicker, George Blanda? I think he was like
oh my gosh,
yeah, like almost
he played
50
for a
or
long
something.
time.
And he
Yeah,
played. Yeah.
Vinatieri played for a long time. Sebastian Janikowski played. I mean, there's a bunch of kickers that make the distance for sure.
That's true. Right. So you've got a book out called The Yards Between Us, and this is a memoir. Is it a general memoir, like, your whole autobiography, or is it specific to your coming out story?
That's a great question. I mean the subheader I think does it justice, the justice of life, love, and football. It really does depict that. It starts when I was 6 and the tragic loss of my stepfather from a motorcycle accident, and it takes you up to and beyond when I came out in 2019, and then, like I said, a little beyond that as well. So, a full memoir, really, of life. I think that's why this book is so great for people who are, of course, Black bisexual sports people, as of myself, and people that don't embody any of those communities, because it really is just a story of a life, an experience that we all share, and some that hopefully we don't share, but we can connect to and create empathy around.
Okay, on your bio it says loss of your best friend and sole confidant. Was that who you were talking about?
Yes. Well, no. The beginning of the book starts with my stepfather. Different person. My best friend, his name is Joe Gilliam. I meet him in college when I go to Purdue University to play football, and he is a teammate as well as a best friend, and the first person that I come out to. I lose him later on in life and in the book.
Was he a relationship or just a friend?
Best friend.
Best friend. Okay. All right. So I guess the big question here is, well, there's two questions I have. How and why? And I'm going to ask how first. Did you just make an announcement like in the locker room? Or how did you do this to come out to your team? You were still playing at the time you came out, right?
Yeah, I was. Yeah, well, I was a free agent at the time, so we go through it a little bit. Sorry, where did I go with this? Um, So I made the decision in 2019 to come out. I did it through a personal essay that was then published in ESPN, along with a TV journalism segment, just talking about my decision, the things that led up to that, what my hopes were in announcing afterwards, which at the time were very personal, because I feel as though coming out for a lot of people starts in mostly predominantly is a very personal thing and should remain that way. And it was about just being an out bisexual proud man and about staying connected with sports. At the time, I was looking at it in terms of playing football. My view of that has now evolved into where I am now, which we can get into a bit before. But the thought was, of course, I talked a little bit just a moment ago about coming out to my friend in college, who was a teammate as well. And I've had instances of people in my life who obviously have known at different points, and we've had different conversations about it. I wasn't so much concerned about how it would be perceived once I made the decision to come out, but it's definitely a fear and a thought that I think keeps a lot of athletes in the closet for a lot of their careers. Now, I'm on the other end of it. I'm of the point to show that the players and your teammates, especially those are the people that know your character the best, and that know your soul, I think, and your heart the best, that you can then become an olive branch to deem them an understanding, or that they can at least genuinely love and support you for who you are, regardless of the identities that you embody. Um, and the same was for me after coming out. I got so much celebration, so many messages, texts, conversations. With people in my life, with teammates, both present and former, with coaches, both present and former, and just people in the sports space that I'd always looked up to, colleagues that I had always admired. It was really such a positive experience for me, and I want to hopefully share that with everyone. I want everyone's coming out experience in some way to be positive. And I think for most people it is, even if it's just the relief and the validation of self-love and self-respect and the courage to really prioritize you and your well-being here on this earth above all else.
Did you get any negative response from anybody on your team or anybody generally?
I mean, not really. I will say that like a lot of the negativity that apparently was said or that was out there weren't from people were from people who didn't know me personally. I have a saying: if I don't know you personally, I don't take what you have to say really personally, especially when it comes to something like who I am and my identity. And I am also a big advocate on just protecting and shielding yourself from the vast noise that is social media. So prior to, I already kind of had things implements in place where if you weren't in my personal life, in my personal circle, if we hadn't crossed paths in some way, you couldn't really get access to me. So I really didn't hear or see a lot of the negatives. I'm sure people had things to say, as they most likely do. But it really wasn't in my sphere. It didn't taint that moment for me in any way. And I still continue to not focus on it really at all.
So let's get to the why. Why did you feel it was important to come out?
Oh my goodness. Well, just to come out in of itself, it was important for me. At that point, it was a need of survival. I think I was in a very dark place, after losing my best friend to cancer at the age of 26, and that was also the same year where I suffered a significant shoulder injury um, during Thursday night football when I was starting for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, playing against the then Tom Brady New England Patriots, and I was put in a place where both sports, both sport and my personal life were kind of in shambles, so to say, or in crisis. And I had to look at the things that were left there, just being me and how I felt with myself and how I looked at myself. And really had to start cultivating that relationship and building that up, because at the end of the day, whether people came or went, whether football came or went, I knew that would always be me, stuck with me in a sense, and that I had to be in a good place there to weather just the storm of life. That's what led me on my coming out journey. Um, and when I go to the importance of sharing it on such a large scale, because I think that's genuinely, I guess, like the next question or the next thing. In the five major professional sports leagues, the MLB, the NHL, the NBA, the NFL, the MLS, there is at this point in history only one out male athlete, Carl Nassib, who came out 2 years ago in the NFL as gay and is a free agent now. Um, to me, that says something, that there's a lot of young LGBTQ plus people who for some reason either feel as though they can't voice who they are in sport, or who don't stick in sports at all, who don't feel invited or welcomed in sports. And I think that's a shame, because sports brings so many amazing things. It's brought so many amazing things to my life. And I think the nature of sport really is about community and about inviting different and diverse people in, under just the guise of loving the game.
How is the NFL with LGBTQ generally speaking? Are they pretty open about it, or is it still in the homophobic realm, or where is it at these days?
I will say that America as a country, I believe, is at a state where it could always be more accepting, where there are places and people in a whole that inform the organizations and the businesses that make it okay for it to be kind of a place, a divisive topic or a controversial topic. I will say that the NFL falls under the category of the statistic that I just named. Out of the five major professional male sports leagues, there's only one out player currently. They definitely fall under that. I say that in the time that I came out to now, and even 5 years before I came out, that there has been progress, that there's been positive progress in including LGBTQ plus people. that I hope to continue to be a part of that process, whether it be in internal events, external facing events, decision making, uh, talking, using my platform, using their platform when I can. That there will be progress being made. Change never happens, I think, as fast as we want it to, and unfortunately, as fast as we need it to. But I do see the positive change happening. Is it perfect in football? Not close. Is it perfect in male professional sports? Not close. Is it perfect in America? Not at all.
I see on here that it says Sony Picture Television is developing the memoir into a half-hour comedy.
Yes, sir.
How are they going to do it as a comedy?
Well, I was approached by Gabrielle Union to option the book, and she and of who she is as an entertainer and as a talent, both in front and behind the camera, is just a phenomenal person. But also her allyship to the LGBTQ plus community is second to none. Her family unit being one of the prime front-facing examples, just of how they operate, how they support. Their kids and their daughter in the community. She is an advocate and she's a beacon and a legend in the Black community, for women in entertainment and in business, just all these things. And it was actually her idea to make the show into the format of a comedy, which at first I didn't really see. But when she explained it to me, when she explained, also just all of the limited representation that we do have in the LGBTQ plus space, whether it be in books, in media, is really about the kind of the traumatic journey of coming out, which is real and it needs to be said. But it has been said that we have not really had a lot of the lighthearted, the funny, the comical, the family, the warmth, of what it means to be out. Especially in the athletic world, and that comedy would be the best way to take these kind of at times divisive or intense topics, and to kind of disarm people, and allow us all to put our defensive down, and just us to have like heartfelt moments in conversation, but also have fun together and just enjoy life together. So it was her idea. I'm co-executive producing with her and co-writing it with her, or with Saeed Crumpler, a phenomenal TV writer, and we're going to make it happen.
Okay, so it's in production now or pre-production?
Yeah, in development.
Development? Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right. I guess the last question, and this is something on your bio, one of the talking points, and I'm just going to read it. It says, you are currently one of the major voices in the LGBTQ community. Does that label carry a certain responsibility for you?
Yes, I will say yes. I don't normally use the word responsibility, but the more that I foil with it in my mind, it does seem appropriate. To me, it feels more like a calling. I am a person where in my life, in this short liminal life that we all have, when you are presented with talent, when you are given the talent, when you work at it, when you have the passion for it, and also when the universe creates opportunity, or when you create opportunity for yourself, when those two things meet, that it is kind of our purpose here in this earth to pursue that. And I've been fortunate enough to be given the talent and work at the ability of storytelling, and giving a voice to the voiceless. And I've been given opportunities to do so. I've created opportunities to do so. And it is my calling to continue to do that. There's a weight that comes with it, but it feels not of a burden. It feels of just something that I care deeply about. And hopefully that can change the course for those that come after me. I want to leave this world a better place than when I came into it. And that is really what a life is for me.
Well, that was a great answer.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice. I think on that one, we're going to have to wrap it up. My guest is R.K. Russell, and the book is called The Yards Between Us. The book is out, I assume, right?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay, last question. Do you have a website you want to give out?
I do. People can follow me on socials. I'm on Instagram and Twitter at RK Relentless. I have a website, rkrelentless.com. It's where I put all of the books, the tour dates, speaking engagements, press, media, awards, all of those things. You can tap with me at any of those locations. Please, The Yards Between Us, the memoir, the book is available anywhere you buy your books. It's also available at Target and Walmart. I voiced the audiobook, so if you're an audiobook person, that is out there as well.
All right, great. Well, again, thanks for coming on the show. It was nice meeting you, and best of luck with all your projects.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.